In the Flatwoods in Braxton County, West Virginia, United States, North America, Earth, on September 12, 1952, several witnesses saw a bright light in the sky and then followed it to a hill. On the top of that hill, they heard a high-pitched sound and saw a 10-foot-tall monster with a red face, a glowing green body, hands like claws, and a pointed hood shaped like an ace of spades or a Hershey kiss. Those are the facts, the truth. So what lies beyond? Let's find out. Theme song.
It's time for another episode of Beyond the Truth, Monsters, Myths, Legends, and Lore.
All right, and welcome to Beyond the Truth, the official podcast outgrowth of the Finding the Truth series, where we find the truth surrounding the truth of monsters, myths, legends, and lore. I'm your host, John Klein. With me, as always, my brother Micah, my beautiful wife Sarah, my dog Sadie, my sexy cousin Jesse, and our expert guest.
Why am I just your brother and he's your sexy cousin?
Jillian.
I want to be your sexy cousin.
Why is Sadie just your dog, Sadie?
Okay.
Why am I just an expert?
So let's do something else for the small chatter. Small chatter. What are we thinking about this week?
Jesse, what are you...
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
He's writing death.
Now we are going to talk about the monster. Jillian.
What's the monster?
This one, I think.
You know, there's 43 synonyms for outgrowth in the Webster's dictionary.
Name one.
Offshoot.
Let's not. Let's talk
Offshoot?
about the monster. People have been complaining so much about how we
Protuberance?
barely talk about the monster itself. Jillian, your thoughts on this
Swelling?
creature? It's a unique one, I think.
Swelling. That
So
doesn't
to
work
me,
for
this one right away screams extraterrestrial.
Why is that?
In the area, days before the event, there was an increase in UFO activity.
Interesting.
Several reports going into the sheriff. And then there was actually a bright light that led to the group of people wanting to go and explore the woods because it appeared to crash.
Okay. Okay.
So to me, this one's pretty.
So the other lights weren't bright?
I mean, they were bright. This
Just
one
not as bright.
I mean, this one
you
crashed.
just let
and
her
a
say what
creature
she's
came
saying?
out.
I'm
not
sorry.
sure.
John told me not to interrupt the expert.
Yeah. And then what do
I
you
don't
do
see
first thing on the
expert
episode?
here.
What's the first thing you do on the episode, Micah?
What's the
Can't discern
monster
between
called?
landing and
The
crashing.
Flatwoods Monster.
The Flatwoods monster?
That's what I started
Is it
with.
called
I
the
said that
Flatwoods
first.
Monster because it crashed and flattened the woods?
No.
You know,
Wait,
you could
no,
argue
is that true?
that.
Is that why they
I
call
can-
it that?
I mean, I think
You
that
know,
area was
that
just
is the
full.
amazing
Wait, so
thing
what
about
does it do?
Don't tell him that he might be right.
That
if
is
he's
the
clearly
amazing
not.
thing
I mean,
about
that's a
me.
good
I can
thought,
argue
though.
almost anything.
The look of the monster actually is a key detail because that's what I think lends a lot of credibility
like
to
a
this.
nun.
And Jillian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you
The
won't.
best
But
evidence.
the interesting thing about the story is that several different witnesses were there. One of them was a National Guard, or it had some position of like authority.
Yeah.
And one, they all though were interviewed separately, and all drew up the exact same looking creature.
Yeah.
And it
They
was
really-
very
that really
shortly
Yeah,
after.
that literally happened, and this is
That's
like
crazy.
That is
the most like official one.
Where are the
photo?
rest of the
Yeah,
pictures?
that's it.
That's crazy.
Probably
So,
the
so
museum.
both those guys saw that and drew that.
That's a woman, isn't it?
No, that's a guy.
that's
Yeah,
a
it's
guy,
two
right?
guys.
Yeah.
It looks like a nun with a pointed hat.
Actually, that might be a woman.
I think
That is a
that's a woman.
Look at. It's hard to tell.
That's
Her
not-
figure is hidden by the
That's
cloak.
But they both
irrelevant.
drew that.
It's irrelevant.
You don't have
it's
to
irrelevant.
tell-
I
she's
don't
wearing
think through
earrings.
it, I
Jillian,
think
is
those
that a
are-
girl?
It's irrelevant.
The one in a dress, I think, is a
Is
girl.
that
On the
that
right?
Could be a cloak.
Yeah.
Are we
It's
talking about the
polka
creature?
dot.
There's polka
That's
dot.
a woman.
Okay, so yeah. Let me see it again.
Yeah, I guess so.
It is polka dot. No, that's
Back then
definitely
it
a
was
woman.
like this or that too.
So
Weird. That seems
Did they
questionable.
know each other at all, or are they two completely different people who drew the same thing?
Well,
No, it was,
actually,
what,
it was a group
3 or 4,
of.
right?
So the people who actually witnessed it, it was a group of younger boys.
Okay.
And then two of the boys' mother.
Yes.
and
This
also
says
a
their names
dog.
are John and Sarah.
No, that's not.
Oh, John explained. Okay, never mind. No, that's
Give me
something
that.
else.
I'm gonna say, if you think that man looks like me, I'm.
All right, let's move on. I feel like this could go down
This
a
is a
deep rabbit
train
hole.
wreck. This is a train wreck. And also, people that went back and visited the area to investigate this did also say that there was, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure I did. I rarely miss detail, that there was a smell. There was a
An odor.
smell, an odor, yes.
An
Stench.
outgrowth.
No, an outgrowth. No, that's not. Would you let it?
Outgrowth of odor.
Yes, yes, that's a good proper
Swelling
use, and nobody
of
thinks
odor.
that's weird to use. All right, let's do the commercial break here.
Our sponsor.
Talk about that.
I think West Virginia would want
No, I think West Virginia paid for me to say this. We're not going to get paid if these ads suck, guys. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Travel West Virginia. Let our country roads take you home to the hotel you belong in for the night. This is an important sponsor because West Virginia, as we saw, it was decimated by the economy. It's rough. You know, the whole state is pretty rough. When we went there. Do you guys remember we mentioned this a little bit? No, the homeless guy, and we all thought this guy's got a knife. I remember we all backed up. We were all pretty scared, and we were all trying out there. We all bought cigars. A couple guys had never smoked before.
Right.
We're standing out there in the street, which already looks really sketch. We walk around. There's nowhere to smoke because the place looks so dumpy.
Yeah.
And then we see a homeless man come across the street, start to approach us.
You know what's crazy about
He
that
did.
though?
He walked
Because
towards
so you know, like when you're getting off the highway, there'll be someone with a sign sometimes, like asking for money.
Yeah.
What?
Which is fine, but like
What is
one
this?
time I was getting on the highway.
Yeah.
And someone, I'm like, who can stop their car getting onto the, on the on ramp?
Yeah.
To stop their car and give money.
Yeah.
You know?
He's probably trying to get a ride.
What is
Oh,
that?
that's true.
Oh, my gosh.
But honestly, that's the kind of stuff we saw the whole time we were there. The city had just been, the economy was not doing well. There's homeless people just wandering the streets. And we were there one night, and we all thought we almost got shanked. So, like, 100% of our time we spent in West Virginia,
Okay, there
we
was more to
thought
that
we were
story,
going
though.
to get shanked.
There
Yeah,
was
but you're
more to
saying
that
the
story.
economy was bad simply because there were homeless people? Because also, I didn't know you're gonna find
No,
homeless
but that's
people.
evidence. I mean, it's just not a pretty place.
He wasn't
I
a
didn't
local.
think it was
He
that
was
bad.
looking for a train station.
I liked it.
It was fine. Would you, would you go to Cleveland or would you go there?
So he approached us.
I could be convinced either one. I'd say. It's like it depends what we're doing. It depends what we're doing.
But
I've looked Monster.
would you, if somebody was coming and said, hey, where should I go to West Virginia? I'm coming in from Florida. Would you say yes? That makes sense?
To be fair, there's homeless people in Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
right.
but I'm not going
All
to tell
right,
people
you
go
might
to
all right,
Cleveland.
let's go back to the
there.
cryptid podcast that we're doing here.
So anyway, that's Travel West Virginia. Take yourself home. Promo code
honestly,
Beyond
couldn't even make a
Podcast.
shake that anyway.
So yeah. So then yeah, what's our thoughts on the Flatwoods monster?
The talk.
Maybe it was a homeless man.
And it did spark the Air Force to come and investigate. And
Oh, really?
research.
Is that true? Really?
Yeah.
So the Air Force investigated, and what did they come up with?
Well, it was added to Project Blue Book.
We'll go into that. What's Project
What
Blue
is?
Book?
Yeah. What is Project?
It has to do with UFOs.
Does it?
Yes.
Does it?
I was gonna say. Yep. And then
Where do we
and
fall on
then-
UFOs? What would you guys say? The
Is
real?
Project
Would we
Blue
fall on
Book a
them?
real?
Like, what do you think is real?
I mean,
or?
they're real because they're just things that are
Identified, yeah.
identified.
Is
I-
Project
This is
Blue
where I
Book a
fall on
proven
UFOs.
thing? That's my question. As the
Really?
skeptic,
No,
and
I-
Unidentified flying object.
What are you drawing?
Real.
Put that down.
Well, those are real.
This is a real drawing. It's actually a
Is
real
it an
picture
alien? I
that
don't
I
know.
saw.
We talk about the Flatwoods monster. What are our thoughts on it?
Real.
It's an
What do you-
alien.
You think that this is 100%? This is true. You buy it.
I
Wait,
mean,
did it take
I
off?
would say so. There were so many witnesses.
Did it take
Yeah,
off
but
after the
also
monster,
there's
after
that.
they
I
saw
think
it?
the thing that helps with their story was the gas smell, but at the same time, that also could be
Right.
hurt their story.
Gas smell? I thought it was an odor.
An odor, an outgrowth, or not an odor, a stench.
Have there been things though, like where there's been a lot of witnesses where you still didn't believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigfoot has thousands of
Yeah.
supposed sightings a year.
Yeah.
But we
I still don't believe it.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I don't.
There's
Ha-
like
half
12
the. I would
Sure.
say 99% of the crap we talk about on this show, I do not believe.
Negative energy has nothing to do
Yeah.
with
Well,
Bigfoot.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
they're
it.
not
I
gonna
mean,
come
right
out and
now
say hi
during
if
the
you're
show.
being negative.
I
And
just
I-
want
yeah.
to point out that our experts' proof
Of all the
that
evidence
the
that we
Flatwoods
have,
Yeah,
monster
I don't
is-
think any of it's real. I know we show footage of stuff, and I'm always telling myself like, this is fake. This is a waste of time.
Seriously.
Why are we
Why would
talking
you
about?
say
This?
that
Why am I
on the
out
show?
there? Why did I?
I'm
just-
usually
say
we could
that
talk
here?
about something more valuable with our. We could do something more valuable with our
That's what
time.
the show's about. You
I'm
said
just-
you were going
I'm-
to come talk about
I'm
this.
being honest. Like I just don't buy it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, then talk about that later when
So
you're not
Project
on the
Blue
show
Book-
talking about it, where people out there care about this stuff.
So Project Blue Book, just to point out, our expert brings
Oh,
up
so now
Project Blue
you
Book.
know about Project
Project
Blue Book.
Blue
Interesting.
Book is also an urban legend.
Wait,
So
is
our
that?
proof that this urban legend exists is that it is part of another urban legend. That's like
Jillian,
saying
is that true? Did the
I
evidence you
know
bring up-
that the
I mean,
chupacabra
really.
exists because Bigfoot reportedly told my uncle one time
Yeah.
when he was walking through the woods.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't trust
Bigfoots
that.
can speak, so I don't know.
Do I have an uncle? You don't know if I have an uncle. I could be making up my uncle. Well,
Yeah.
Justin knows I have.
All right, rapid fire
Can we
questions.
do better?
If we went to, could we do better? Could we find better evidence
Definitely.
than just these drawings and what these?
Yeah, honestly,
poor
if we decided like a different type of podcast we wanted to make, we could do better. We could talk about something that
No, if we went
People
to
would
Braxton,
benefit.
the question is always, if we went to the place, would we find better evidence? Could we find better evidence if we were given the chance to go there?
I'm going to say no just because there's been no sighting since then.
But
This
Jillian,
was a one-time
you're an
sighting
expert on some of
thing.
these things, but I don't think you're an expert on what we can do as a team.
Well, how would you make an alien re-crash onto Earth?
I'm not going
In
to
that
remake
exact-
it, but there's evidence.
We
Evidence,
high-fived.
right? Just like what's something that has evidence? Something that has evidence, there's evidence there, right? And if we find the evidence, that's proof of it being true. We can find that stuff. Even if it's not there currently, which it could be though, I think
Just
we have
'cause-
a team that's better certified to be able to do that.
Something that has evidence has evidence. How come?
Something that has, like, when there's evidence out there, that's evidence. And you can find that. That's what
if that
classifies it as
evidence
What if
evidence.
it's not real?
Like it's
Yeah.
not.
How do we know this wasn't a mass hallucination?
Jillian, I think just remember, it's the smarter you get, it kind of focuses like a laser,
Yeah.
and you're kind of
I see what you're saying. I
but
do, yeah.
other areas are not as.
it's kind of like it's like when Avatar came out. Like a lot, we watched Avatar. We're like, okay, this is a work of it's fantasy, it's
Okay,
fiction, it's
that's
not
not
real.
enough. Can we end now?
But some person could watch Avatar and then you'd be like, this is my religion. I'm gonna start worshiping this.
How long has it been?
And I'm just saying, like, that's how people are different.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't.
All right, Micah, do you want to?
Final thoughts.
Yeah, I'll take
No,
us out.
wait, yeah, take it out, Micah. What are your?
Local legends.
I do want to say that when I came into this episode, I totally believed in this story, but then I heard Jillian saying that she believed in it, and I was like,
Right.
I don't believe it
and
anymore.
that's the thing.
Why?
Right.
Like, why do you think? Why?
Kind of wondering why it shifted.
I just
Like, because
I think because we're
she's.
starting to see
Is it
where
because I'm
woman?
mental
maybe
faculties
not
are
a
lacking.
man, and maybe if I was a man telling you,
Is that why?
No, yeah.
probably
Like a
why.
has
man-
nothing to do with it, actually.
Yeah, because statistically, they spend more hours at work.
I don't like when somebody tells me something with certainty.
Jillian is an expert on something that may or may not exist. So if it doesn't exist, Jillian is not an expert on anything.
That's
Yeah.
true. Oh, that's a good point. If there's nothing there
Yeah.
to study, what's Jillian looking at?
but I mean,
What's she
one
studying?
of them doesn't make or break.
So Jillian's
What?
expertise is that she has seen the evidence that we can
Right.
all look up on Facebook.
Exactly.
Or YouTube.
And I'm wondering, is she getting paid by the state for doing this job? Like, who's paying Jillian?
I don't
Yeah.
think Jillian.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Because like, where's that money could be going to other places.
That is for a different
Yeah.
episode.
That's what we should probably talk about later. Actually,
Are we all getting paid?
We should all talk about that later. Not at the
Yeah, I don't
moment.
think I can do one of these a day anymore.
Okay,
This
well,
is
that's
getting
all the
way
time
too
we
much.
have for
A lot of
today
my
on
time.
Beyond the Truth, the official podcast outgrowth of the Finding the Truth series.
Gosh,
where
can we please
explore
stop
the
saying
truth
outgrowth?
of the truth surrounding monsters, myths, legends, and lore.
I got monsters in my head, but you chase them away, chase them away, chase them away.